Hey guys, budzcee here, and welcome to my first gaming review. After finishing Stellar Blade this month, and the fact the game didn't get the hype it deserved when it came out in 2024, I felt I wanted to share my gameplay along with my thoughts on the game. A few things to note: I played Stellar Blade on PlayStation 5 with the normal difficulty setting. I didn't want to take the chance of having performance issues on PC. However, Stellar Blade has gotten very positive reviews on Steam as of the date of this review. Stellar Blade is a semi-open world game where there's plenty of exploration due to the side missions you can find at the bulletin board with Roxanne. The game is fairly linear, and thankfully there is a fast traveling option allowing you to bounce back and forth between areas within the map. From the start of the game to the characters, Eve's outfits, the regions, and boss fights, it has been visually stunning with no issues of choppiness or lagging. Overall, it was impressive and made me wonder why similar games aren't able to look as beautiful and smooth as Stellar Blade. Chat will tell you I am the first to complain about the platforming in this game. I think for those of us who have played Stellar Blade, we can all agree the platforming needs some polishing. Eve is overall sensitive and will walk up to a rail at any time and go over it. She will easily fall off beams and take fall damage. I wouldn't mind the fall damage if the platforming wasn't so janky. The sensitivity to platforming made estimating swings and jumps a bit more difficult. It made it feel time consuming, especially when solving puzzles. The first half of the game I felt like I was running around too much, and at times I felt a bit tedious exploring. Take this comment with a grain of salt. I'm not one to enjoy open world games, let alone semi-open world, but I took the time to learn the skill sets and understand the combat system. By doing so, I was prepared to handle the rest of the bosses found later in the game. Exploring also leads to finding all sorts of materials to upgrade your gears and unlock new exospines, along with Eve's super fun outfits. I think the amount of gear sockets was enough. You can equip 4 gears to buff up Eve's performance and stats. The game allows you to have 2 exospine sockets, but I found myself wishing for a third one. I was in situations throughout the game where I was thinking, man, 2 isn't enough, or a third socket would be so good right now. I didn't feel the game robbed me of any of these buffs. They all work well and will help you create Eve into the perfect weapon that suits your playstyle. Stellar Blade relies heavily on timing enemies' attacks and using parrying or dodging to deflect those attacks. The game rewards you by increasing your beta energy and burst skill bars if perfect parries and perfect dodges are executed. These set of skills can be upgraded within the skill tree and will come in handy throughout the game to help you easily bring down bosses. The game does a great job forcing you to use these skills by putting you in a position where beta, burst, or even Taki mode will help immensely. Stellar Blade also does a good job of requiring us to switch between Eve's blade and Eve's combat drone. The drone provides range support and comes in handy when fighting enemies from a distance, or when Eve's blade isn't ideal in certain fighting situations. There are 5 different types of ammo, each with its own effects to help you tackle a variety of enemies. I'm not sure if it was a skill issue on my part, but I had a few friends agree with me when it came to dodging in Stellar Blade. I wasn't able to find that sweet spot to execute a perfect dodge. The game has the right amount of parrying and dodging throughout, so it's important to understand and learn those. I still managed to perfect dodge during fights, but I wish I was able to understand the timing. Not being able to nail this down left me vulnerable. Visual fighting cues are also used heavily throughout Stellar Blade. Each color represents an unexpected action and will trigger a different effect. Once executed properly, the fighting becomes much more fun and much more entertaining. The story seemed pretty straightforward. Eve is sent to investigate and eliminate monsters known as Naytibas who are taking over the planet. Throughout Eve's travel, she slowly starts learning the truth behind the origin of the war, the origin behind the Naytibas, and realizes someone or something is manipulating the outcome. The story sounds pretty cool, but let's face it, most of us are in it for the hacking and slashing, and of course, finding out all the outfits to look good in while fighting. The music to Stellar Blade is simply amazing. Just like how the world of Stellar Blade was beautifully created, the music was also crafted well to suit every part of the game. I'm very surprised I ended up liking Stellar Blade as much as I did. I love how all boss fights seemed fair and I didn't have to grind to beat them. I love how there's plenty of time to execute parries, dodges, and all visual cues. I'm very happy I took the time to explore a few regions to better understand the mechanics of the game. Stellar Blade left me wanting more, and I'm looking forward to seeing what Shift Up comes up with for the second game. If you want to try a different style of hack and slash game or just need a break from those typical Souls-like games, I highly recommend Stellar Blade. 8 out of 10 is my final rating. If you liked this review of Stellar Blade, please comment, like, and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts on Stellar Blade in the comment section, or if you feel I left anything out or have any questions, feel free to post them and I'll get to them as soon as I can.